Good evening, everyone. Thank you. Thank you for joining. Hope everyone is in good health. Guys, I think you can chat on the, yeah, let's can chat now. Okay. Hope everyone is in good health. Good evening, everyone. Okay. So guys, we'll quickly now start on to the things that we left yesterday. Okay. So I wanted to, we left yesterday, and I said that we'll talk much about the company, the research part. Okay, now I just want quick answers. See now here now, majority answers I want you to give, because I am not teaching you finance. I am teaching you, or I am interacting with you on the things that you already know. It is just that it is put into some financial word, so you think that you don't know. Now that is why I started with yesterday, grocery store. Okay, we said that we want to open a basic uh shop. Okay. Acha, now guys, tell me, on what basis do you plan to open a store out of this? Assuming, okay, would you open a grocery store? Would you open a stationery store? Would you open an alcohol store? What store will you depend on, and what? I just want a basic answer from you guys. You have money. Let's say we raise, investors has given us the money. Okay. So probably the venture capital must have given us the money because we are a startup. No, I'm not talking about profit and all as of now. See, I said, don't go into finance. I am just talking about which of the shop will you open and why. Okay, demand in the market. Okay, what kind of demand? Grocery store is fast moving consumer goods, less paperwork. Area of expertise, correct? Area of expertise. Okay, ease of starting a okay, ease of starting, assuming now it's opening a shop. Acha, in that Satvik, I can say ease of starting, I will say less capital requirement. Okay. For a restaurant, probably you might require a big capital expenditure. Acha, demand. See now, this all things, demand cannot be measured. Na? As just tell me, the demand means what? Which everyone has a demand. Grocery has a demand, medical has a demand. Are this product that there is sudden demand in 1 year and then another year there is no demand? Is it like that? All are basic, na? Are basic stuff. Everyday all are FMCG types, fast moving consumer goods types. Acha, alcohol, high margin business. Okay, fine. Fine. Scarcity of any products, grocery. Okay, now let me answer. Now, the thought process of you and me. Okay. You have money. See, the easiest way to do a business is start a grocery and medical store. Acha, on what basis do you selected this? On what basis you said that, sir, grocery and medical are easier? Lina said, Rina, you said grocery and medical are the most easiest one because your sales will happen, correct? Can find every 100 shops, no manufacturing requirement because everyone needs that. Stationery also everyone. Okay. No, I'm just saying, okay, let's talk about grocery and medical. On what basis do you select a grocery? Why didn't you say a mobile phone store? Why didn't you say a restaurant? So I'll tell you one thing. This is very basic. I'm not sure. I didn't get that right answer. Price is the factor. Can I say it is easier to buy a chocolate than to buy a shoes, or alcohol, a furniture, or a mobile? Mobile comes for 10, 15,000. Can I say price was the major factor? Grocery is the need, as well as, can I say it is price factor uh is less. Anyone can afford. Anyone can afford. Probably shoes people cannot afford. Easy entry, no need of promotion. Grocery, medical, grocery. No, see, as of now, forget about the margins. We are talking about the sales. Don't go on the profitability. You don't know how to do a business. Even Anil Ambani is making losses. Even Zomato is making losses. Okay, so we don't talk about that. See, we started our business now. So पहले दिन से profit करोगे. Startup है ना? It's a startup. So what is your first purpose? In any business, do you think about profits or do you think about sales first? Profits are necessary, but do you think about profit or sales? There's always the sales. There's always the sales. If there is no sales, there's that, sir, grocery and medicals are very, because price is the major factor. Because everyone, can I say everyone can afford it? Acha, what if you open a shoe shop? Let's say a shop like, sorry, forget about. We talked about, okay, clothing. Okay, what if we open something like Louis Vuitton? Will it work? Will it work? Why? Why not? Clothes hai na? Why not? Acha, what if I only sell cancer products? Can happen. Acha. What if in the grocery store I only sell let's say beauty products? Now what will happen? Now am I in the right position to open a Louis Vuitton store in the area? Acha, no, someone said premium clothing. But there is a store in the area where Louis Vuitton works, no? Did I mention you any area where I'm opening? Did I mention you? How did you say that, sir, Louis Vuitton is luxury, so you will not open it? Why is it so? Yeah. See the market, see the consumers, then only you try to open a store. So when it comes about research, no, it basically starts from economy of the economy of the area. Economy of the area, correct? You cannot open a cheap grocery store in a area like South Mumbai or South Delhi, or maybe in posh area like Bangalore. You cannot open a basic kirana store over there. Correct? Correct. So it is always and what you look at when you say clothing. So let's say Louis Vuitton. What will you look in the economy of the area? What will you have if you want to open, assuming that okay, Louis Vuitton will be able to open over here. When I talk about South Mumbai and South Delhi, what I talk about specifically? Rich people. Okay, people with higher spending power. Well, with higher spending power. Okay. Correct. Three P's. Okay. First is people. So you have to find an area where you should find people with higher spending power. Okay. Now, okay. How are they able to make that? Why are the people rich? Why are the people rich? They might be doing businesses. Correct. Or okay, employees. Okay. IT employees. If an IT guy is rich, can you find a rich IT guy in a country of Africa? Any random country of Africa? Any random, small country in Africa, can you find a rich IT guy, IT employee? Tell me which is a millionaire do you know in Africa? African based country. Let's say Libya or maybe Egypt. That still these are bigger countries. These are good countries. Do you know anyone from Kenya who is a millionaire or a billionaire? An IT employee that is in your vicinity, yeah? That is in your where you know people. See, when you talk about people, you might be having friends who are in IT, working in US, working in UK, Europe. Do you have anyone working in Africa, an IT guy working in Africa saying that, sir, he make 1 crore in Africa? No, never. Huh? Now from less chances, you came no. Okay, depends. That depends question depends is very worst thing to say in an interview. If you say something like depends, I will ask you so many things and you will get confused with your answer. And you will only say, sir, I said wrong. It will not depend. I made it more specifically. No? When I said, do you know? Do you know? It's never depend. It is always yes. Either you know, either you don't know. Okay, it is either yes or no. Never talk about depends. Even in interviews, if they talk about any such kind of things, never talk about uh, depends. In absence of information, no. In absence of information, yes. Okay. So can I say if there are rich people, so economy might also be growing? Country might also be growing. Country growth is also important. Country growth is important. People, then only you will get people with higher spending power. Then only you can open a business like a Louis Vuitton. Correct? Or maybe a business like Rolls Royce. So even while opening, so how do you measure the economy of a country? GDP. What is GDP? No, Alok, per capita income will come next. First is GDP. The amount, the value of goods and services. The value of goods and services. Value of goods and services produced in a year. Produced in a year. Okay. This is the GDP. So first, when you talk about research, you should know the GDP of the country, what the country is doing. If you don't know this is called macroeconomics. It's called macroeconomics. Such basic things, you don't have to remember it. Macroeconomic. Is it country growth related to Louis Vuitton? Directly? Directly? Means country is growing, the Louis Vuitton will grow? Directly. Indirectly, yes. For research, yes, you need to know the macroeconomic factors first. Acha, people with higher spending power. Can I say also a part of macroeconomy? Is it indirectly related to the Louis Vuitton sales? That is called your per capita income. A per capita income is usually how it is calculated. The national income means the total income, that is goods and services produced in the country, divided by population of the country. Achha, now just Google the number of your population of the country. Now just Google what is the per capita income of India. Just Google. And what is the per capita income for US? Google and let me know. Per capita income of US, per capita income of India. Basic part. Ki how much people are earning? 2,500 is what? Dollars yearly, that India. 2,500 is approximate 2,50,000. No, Harshal, just we are talking on a random basis that if you want to open a business, would you start in US or would you start in India? We'll come on to it. Why the per capita income matters. What is for US? 85,000. 85,000. So how much is it in rupees if you talk about? Like India may, if I talk about an average individual makes 2 lakh rupees, 2,50,000. It is like on 20,000 a month. And it is 75 lakh in US. Average people make. अभी Now let's say Rolls-Royce wants to start a factory in India. Rolls-Royce was to start a factory in India. So how many people be able to afford it? And if it start in US, can I say there will be more number of people who can afford it? I mean, it says so it doesn't depend on the population, correct? But in India, since the population is huge, and the average comes to nearly a small 20,000, probably you will only make few units for India. You will not open a big manufacturing plant in India. But in US, let's say there are only 5 people, but 5 people are able to get those Rolls Royce, example, because they are that rich. So first, you should know about the country's GDP and per capita income and their behavior, personal spending behavior of the people, and how much they spend. The spending, or I will say savings. Okay. Household, you usually say household income. Household income. Now in this, you tell me which is the car that you see in nowadays on the road. Which type of cars that you see on the road? SUVs. Suddenly you saw this SUVs trend coming in last 2 to 3 years, or maybe after COVID. SUVs you see the most. Why it happened? SUVs come approximate, an SUV comes at around 10 to 12 lakhs. And hatchback Wagoner or Alto comes around 3 to 4 lakhs, which was the top selling products. But now suddenly the buying, or maybe the preferences have shifted towards. Now why did all this happen? Can I say it happened because the GDP was growing, and because of GDP the spending power of the people was increasing, and that is why Creta or companies SUVs making. So if you don't know all this of a country, forget about doing a research. hum we sit in India and do research on US. You don't even know what is going on in your vicinity, which company is doing good in your area, and but you want to go and project forecast for companies like Costco. I had one student who made an entire model of Costco. I just asked him what is the difference between Costco product and a Walmart product. Do you even know, guys? कभी गए हो Walmart में? कभी गए हो Costco में? Few might have, but majority of you, have you even been there? What is the difference? अगर गए हो तो बताओ क्या difference है दोनों के product में? हाँ कुछ तो है. I think they give you. Is there any difference in the product? Both are usually fast selling products. Right? It is like Kirana store, like D-Marts of India. Not D-Mart exactly, but no general store. What is the price difference? So now, how many local shops are there? Walmart and Costco are big. What about the local shops? What about the local shops? Who is the local competitor of Costco? Who is the local competitor of Walmart? Alok is also right. GDP doesn't always means that the per capita income is growing. Correct. But per capita will grow only when GDP will grow. Alok. It will never happen that per capita and GDP is declining. So when you don't know about the GDP of the country, you don't know which people go and buy, you don't know what is the area, and you start researching, start making a model on the company. Even if you do such kind of things, then no one will believe you. Today I was asking on my morning call, someone gave me a news about Zomato. Okay, now tell me the difference between Swiggy and Zomato products with pricing. With pricing. Don't just say ये वो करता है ऐसा है करता है. Tell me the difference between a Zomato and a Swiggy products. Swiggy has Instamart, Zomato has Blinkit. What are the difference between Swiggy and Zomato? No, product wise. I don't want to go on P&L as of now. What is the difference? Zomato offer good products compared to Swiggy. Acha, let's assume. Okay, let's compare the food delivery business of Zomato and Swiggy. Any difference in that? Assume food delivery business between Zomato and Swiggy. Any difference in that? Same, same, nothing. Assuming the Zomato and Swiggy only sells food. Okay, I will tell you the difference. Zomato has Swiggy has 200 restaurants. Okay, register with them. Random number. Zomato has 500 restaurants. Okay, which company is better now in terms of sales? Zomato. That is a problem. You don't go deep into it. Swiggy has 200 restaurants. What if the average price of restaurants of Zomato is 1000 rupees? Correct. Rahul said. Order count, average value order. What if example, Swiggy has only connections with 5-star hotels in India? Assuming, right? Hypothetical scenario. And Zomato has food delivery business only, but have tie up with average of let's say 100 rupees restaurants. The average order value is 100 rupees. Where is this kind of, do you even have this number? Even if you try, look at annual report, PPT or his presentation, conference call, will you even get this data? Then how can you even do a research on Swiggy and Zomato if you don't know which restaurants are they, catering to? Either there is no difference, either there is a huge difference. So till you don't go, how you said Louis Vuitton, when I said Louis Vuitton, why Louis Vuitton is not a better company than normal grocery store? So you don't get this kind of data, but you need to understand what kind of data you want. You can get it by back calculation. You can either get it by back calculation, the average order value number you get, sales number you get. Then you can divide it, you will get the average price what Zomato sells. And then you have the number of stores, number of restaurants. But this data is very difficult to get. So I personally don't do any research on these companies. Question is, why you want to do research on these companies where, Maruti gives monthly data of Alto, that how many Altos it sold in a month, in the month of July. Can you find the price of Alto? If you have the quantity, can you find the price of Alto easily? And if you multiply with the quantity, you will get the price, you will get the sales amount. So till you don't get this quantity and price, probably you will not get in every company. You have to come up with a models, with a different models. Now, Swiggy and Zomato. Okay, I will ask you one more thing. Swiggy and Zomato, why was the growth of Swiggy and Zomato in India? What is aligned to this? Go 10 years back and tell me what changed. How did Swiggy and Zomato was able to capture the market? Now, one more macroeconomic data question I asked. What changed? नहीं नहीं मुझे अर्बनाइजेशन वो सब नहीं समझता है. Food delivery or door. Okay, that is a service. Fine. Extensive work hours, increased discretionary income, traffic congestion. नहीं, मैं 10 years पहले की बात कर रहा हूँ, अभी की नहीं. हाँ. Satvik is right. Internet penetration in India. The time Jio came in, तुम्हारे पास अगर इंटरनेट ही नहीं होता 4G 5G, these apps were useless. These apps were useless. Jio, nowadays there are only two, Jio and Airtel. They are the only one who are providing internet services in India. So when internet service, see, Zomato is not a new company. It has started way back in US. Dipendra Goyal started this in US. Why he started in US? Because at that time, smartphone sales in US was at the peak. iPhone, I think fourth generation came to India. 1, 2, 3 generation, I don't remember that it even reached India. Smartphones, apps. So that is what happened, demographic change. So this is how you understand the economy. So first is also the demographic changes you need to know. If you are making, you are for a research analyst, this all things, if you don't know, forget about doing a research. तुम कभी research कर ही नहीं पाओगे ये सब चीजों का. You will never able to do a research. And your research will be just bookish, that sales forecast 10% growth, historical growth, industry growth, etc. Bullshit. Person like me, I will straight away reject you. तुमने model बनाया, तुम्हारे पास रखो. Why would I give you, will I give you 15 lakhs to make a model? So this data, you don't get it on a regular basis. You have to, read newspapers, collect data. You will not get the entire data. You might get few data. But for that, first you need to understand the demographic changes in India. And fair, when it comes about after all these things, after the economic research, okay, GDP, what is the GDP? How is the country growing? Which sector in the country is growing? And are people willing to spend that much on a specific product? See, people don't spend on Jaguar in India. Why is that different? Do you see Jaguar on the road? Jaguar cars on the road? New cars. New Jaguar cars on the road? No. Jaguar cost, the price is around 70 to 1 crore. Even Mercedes comes at the same price. Even BMW comes at the same price. Why don't you see Jaguar cars on the road? Correct? Features. Quality. Quality of the product. Okay. Quality of the products. Pricing of the products. Forget about first features. Pricing of the product. First is always start with the price. For that price, you are not getting a specific feature. Correct? First thing is that pricing. Then it comes service issues, that we talk about quality issues. Quality. How can I say the service of Jaguar is bad? वो ना features, can I say when you compare things, तभी पता ना इसके features नहीं है इसमें. If there's only one car, can you compare it? So what is this all things are called? It is called your probably the macroeconomy. And why don't, not exactly this price features, but why don't people prefer is because why don't people prefer comparative analysis is because the money that they pay, they don't get the features on it. That is basically the macroeconomic research that you are not. See, did I talk anything about P&L, income statement? Nothing on it. So when you talk specifically about the competitors of the company on a qualitative part, not quantitative, qualitative part, that is called your microeconomy research. Study of economy on a smaller scale. Price, product, demand, services, all those things. Price. First is price. Price, product. Features means product. Services. And all those things are a part of your microeconomy research. And why people are not buying? Because they prefer, first they have a capita income, but they will prefer Mercedes over Jaguar because of the price, product, quality, stuff like that. Okay. Now, till you don't know about this, till you don't understand the economy of the company, economy of the country, don't try to do research. First, find all this data. What is the GDP of India? Not only GDP, okay? In the GDP, probably this can happen that other sectors are growing. Your auto sector is only not growing, which is currently happening. India GDP is growing, but auto sector is not growing. People don't want to buy cars. Demand is at the peak. Road conditions are not good in India. Things are happening. Okay, so people don't want to buy cars. First is a macroeconomic research, and then is your Louis Vuitton. Chalo, I give you one example. Today there was a launch of MG9. Okay, see ya. There was a launch of MG9, which cost around 61 lakhs. Those who attended the morning call don't answer. And even Tesla launched in India, which is price of 65 lakhs. Competitors, both are competitors. Same price, Tesla Model Y. Both are competitors. No, are they both competitors? Yes or no? I just want the answer. No, Harshal says no. What about others? Achha, you don't know only these things have happened. Many people don't know that these things have happened. You don't know what is the product. What is MG9? Same price bracket. They are in the same price bracket. So if you don't understand the product of the company, then Herschel rightly mentioned SUV and is an SUV, is an MPV. This is an SUV. This is an MPV. This is a 7-seater car. This is a 5-seater car. How can they be competitors even if the price range is same? A Lamborghini also comes at 5 crores. A Mercedes Maybach also comes at 5 crores. Are they both competitors? The people who buy sports cars are different set of people. People who buy Mercedes Maybachs are different set of people. How will you distinguish that? So Harshal, you said it so quickly that it is MVV and SUV. The price 61, 65 lakhs. Now tell me two products of Costco, Walmart, or some companies which you can give this kind of granular data. What kind of granular can you say, sir? It is an Costco makes a product which is in this segment, which is pricing at this product, and which is a competitor of another product in Walmart, which has different kind of features. Can you? Product details, product minute details, specifically M9, price and segment. Cost of Walmart are half the cost of Walmart. Why? Why it is half? Alto is half the cost of Baleno. Both are cars. Both are cars. So this is what economic research starts with. So while doing now, while why I'm saying all these things, because it's not related to the NISM exams, but when you listen all these things, you are able to answer things in a proper way. You don't have to read those books. Just listen to it. Just understand what are things are important. Per capita GDP, per capita income, household income. This all things will be covered. Data points I will take. One data point. इसको क्या बोलते हैं, उसको क्या बोलते हैं. But what is important is the process is important to understand. You can make your own answers. As I said, we never go and read books. We never go and read books for NISM. Few data points are there. थोड़े बहुत होते हैं जो हमको नहीं पता होते. We forget at times. So वो चीजें सिर्फ पढ़ने होते हैं. It's like I will say it is like definitions. What is GDP exactly? What is per capita income exactly? Probably you might forget it. But if you read newspapers, if you are in the market every day, you will know. Don't have to read all these things again and again. Where can we read this information? You have to find it. Google it. This is all general knowledge. Newspaper. 3 newspapers. 3. This is one last week news where I found out that what is Model Y Tesla, what is MG. There is also a BMW X1 which comes at 61 lakhs. Same price. Competitor now for MG or Tesla. No, Arjun, I think BMW X1 also came up with a EV version. It's an SUV. Okay, it's a competitor for model Tesla Y. Yes, it is. Same price bracket. Cutthroat. Why Tesla is pricing at high? Achha, now why is Tesla price high and why is BMW price low? Anyone can answer now or more granular. Guys, BMW also has. No, forget about tariffs. Important. Anything specific on the products? Anything specifically on the products? So, what is the differentiating factor between two EVs? What are the differentiating factors between two EVs? Major differentiating factor? Difference between product. Battery capacity. Guys, you were saying import duty, tariff duty and all. Is BMW an Indian company? वो नहीं लाता है क्या बाहर से? उसको tariff नहीं लगता है? Tell me what is the tariff on Tesla model and what is the tariff on BMW model? अभी जिसने बोला ना tariff लगता है, tell me the reason. Give me the reason why. What is the tariff? How can you answer such randomly without any data? बताओ ना टेस्ला पे कितना लगता है टैरिफ, BMW पे कितना लगता है टैरिफ? CBU and SQ units set बताओ, how much units of BMW is CBU and SQ? Tell me. Do you have that data? है, मिलता है डेटा, तुमको पता नहीं है. You don't have that data. This data is available. You said custom duty and all. Now this is where because I asked you basic question. I was not expecting कि तुम ये सब बताओ. मेरे तो ध्यान में भी नहीं था कि ऐसा भी है. होगा कुछ तो है. But the major differentiating factor is the battery capacity. इसका रेंज ज्यादा है. टेस्ला हैज अ हायर रेंज, दैट इज व्हाई इट इज कॉस्टिंग 65 lakhs. BMW का रेंज कम है. सर ये किधर लिखा होता है? कौन से एनुअल रिपोर्ट में लिखा होता है? वो तो तुमको जाके ढूंढना है ना किधर लिखा होता है वो. गूगल इट. इंस्टाग्राम फेसबुक चलाने बराबर आता है. व्हेन इट कम्स बेसिक रिसर्च you go such deep inside that you talk about tariffs and all. That is also fine. But पता है तो बताओ कितना है tariffs? टेस्ला पे कितना लगता है? How is this 65 lakhs number derived? And how is this 61 lakh derived? This is the gap between practical research and making a model. This is a huge gap that I see. Yeah, Tesla is autopilot. Correct. Features नहीं, मैं बोला कि major differentiating factor was the battery capacity. Long range, it is called a long range model Y. Okay. So this was the basic. I was talking about the economic. How does an economic, because from this week, I'm just talking about how should we go about, finding answers. Because next time when I will talk about definitions, I don't want again this kind of answers from you guys. कि जो इसके बारे में कुछ पता ही नहीं. Keep it basic, as simple as you can. Don't try to complicate things. Things will get complicated on its own. You don't go and complicate things. तुमको जितना डेटा पता है, जितना जनरल नॉलेज है, and this general knowledge comes only while reading newspapers. This general knowledge comes only by reading newspapers on a daily basis. तो ही ना अभी ये सब मैं बात कर रहा हूँ. Why am I talking all this? This is the latest data I'm talking about. मैं कोई 10 साल पुराना डेटा नहीं बात कर रहा हूँ कि पहले ऐसा था, ऐसे हुआ. कल लास्ट वीक न्यूज की बात है. This week rather. This is the basic news that we were doing in our morning calls on a daily basis. So I figured out अच्छा ऐसा कुछ है when I was reading the news. Okay, why is there a difference between Tesla model and BMW model? क्योंकि उसका लॉन्ग रेंज प्रोडक्ट है. So given a choice, people will not buy BMW, people will buy a Tesla. Why? Because उसका बैटरी कैपेसिटी ज्यादा है. वो टैरिफ वेरिफ क्या करना है तुमको, वो तो बाद में. इट्स अ डिफरेंट पार्ट. But what is the practicality? Okay, so this is all what is called a top-down approach of research. Okay, called top-down approach of research. You make a top-down approach. Top-down approach always starts with economy. अच्छा, economy में कौन सा? First it is macroeconomy. Second is it microeconomy. And third, फिर you come on the company research. ठीक है? फिर you come on the company research. The problem is, what we do? We start with company. When I ask you what is your top pick, you'll say, sir, I like Zomato, I like Swiggy, I like Maruti, I like Tata Motors because EV. Talk about, sir, EV is growing. Do you even know what is the total market size of EV? So let's go a basic on the company research. If I want to start a new company, as you said over here in the grocery store, I will ask you one question now. Based on this is a question asked to me in interview. There is no right or wrong in this. You try to answer in your way. It is called a guesstimates question. I've told it in my class, but I'm also telling you. Guesstimates. Guesstimates. There is no right or wrong answer. I want to find how many red cars are there in India. How will you find? Basic answer. Basic question. This was a question asked to an SG Analytics interview by one of the directors. Student told me, how many red cars are there in India? How will you find the data? You are a research analyst, go find. Tell me the process. I will write one month. Probably write it in sequence. I will wait for 2 minutes. तुम लिखो, type करो, and then एक type मत करो. Tell me. Question asked in interview. There is no right or wrong. Okay, Gokul, do a research. करो, Google करो, and बताओ कि कौन मैन्युफैक्चरिंग करता है. इंडिया की बात कर रहा हूँ मैं. You can take a survey. No, can win नहीं. Whatever you say, Google it. Whatever you say, Google करो. And answer ढूंढ के निकालो. I will not say right answer, but approximate answer is also fine. Harshal, try doing it. Process. I just want the process. No, Rathod, I don't want the answer. I want the process. I'm asking general. It is not about which model or something. General, how many red cars do you see on the Indian roads? If you want to research today, how many red cars are there? Population, age group, female ratio, average car per female. अच्छा, who said that female only buys red car? ये क्या हो गया? Car color ratio. अच्छा, okay. No, answer. There is no right answer, guys. There is no right answer. You will never find the right answer to this. Don't try to say. Try. I will just. पहले तुम बताओ, फिर I will tell my answer. If this question was asked to me in interview, how will I answer it? Need to find peer comparison sector, total cars, approximate 9% of the production. How do you got that? The market share of red car. Okay. Analysis report second. Analyze. Comma if analyze reports. Achha, okay, fine. Analyze reports or analyze reports? Vishal, there is no right answer to this. It is just the process. You will never get the right answer. How much it boils down to. If we guess approximate 8, how will you guess that approximate is 8%? You select a random sample of cars in an area, find record number of cars in the sample and calculate. Okay, fine. Now you'll answer it. See now how an analyst answer and how you are answering. I'm not saying you are wrong, you are right. No one is wrong over here, no one is right. I am just judging you based on how you said the answer. So in interview, if I ask this question, let's say if this was an interview, I would ask this question. I will not judge you whether you are right or wrong. I will just say on how did you reach at a particular answer. Acha. Acha. To get the red cars in India, can I say I should have total number of cars in India? Rathod, again I said, Jaivik, if you give numbers, you will be rejected on the spot. Total numbers of cars on the road. Okay? On total number of cars sold in India. You get this data, you will Google it, you will get this data, approximate 4 million cars, 4 lakh cars are sold in India. Approximate. Okay? Approximate 4 lakh cars are sold in India. You Google karo, mil jayega data. Okay? Total number of cars sold in India. Now, can I say India mein there are 10 to 15 OEMs? 10 to 15. Akansha, if this was that easy to Google it and find, why would I hire you? If everything was Google, AI will take over your jobs then. If you give that answer so easily, Googling it, AI will take over your job. Okay. Now let me answer. Let me answer. You don't answer. Total number of cars sold in India, 4 lakhs. Now, approximate in India, there are 15 to 20 OEMs. Economic data. Economic data. Okay. This data you get. मतलब पता है ना इंडिया में पता है ना कौन से कंपनीज गाड़ियां बनाती है मारुति होंडा टाटा मोटर्स महिंद्रा देन योर ऑडी बीएमडब्ल्यू मर्सिडीज ऑल दिस अप्रोक्सीमेट पता होगा 15 से 20 है ओईएम इंडिया में 20 भी नहीं है 15 है ऑफ दैट ओईएम्स आई विल गेट अ स्पेसिफिक डेटा जो मिलता है देयर इज अ वेबसाइट कॉल ऑटो पंडिट्स वहां पे ये सब डेटा मिलता है ओके बेसिक डेटा तो मिल जाता है कि कितने लग्जरी गाड़ियां फॉरगेट अबाउट ऑटो पंडिट्स देयर इज अ वेबसाइट कॉल फाडा फेडरेशन ऑफ ऑटोमोबाइल डीलर्स इन इंडिया सॉरी फेडरेशन ऑफ ऑटोमोबाइल डीलर्स एसोसिएशन फाडा एफ ए डी इसके वेबसाइट पे जाओ तो सब डेटा मिल जाएगा कितने मर्सिडीज बिकी है सब मिल जाता है ओके नाउ कैन आई से आउट ऑफ दैट ओईएम्स मर्सिडीज और मे बी लग्जरी कार हैव यू सीन एनी लग्जरी कार इन रेड बेचता है क्या कोई देखा है कभी मतलब ऑफिशियली कोई बेचता है क्या यू कैन पेंट इट बट हैव यू सीन ऑफिशियली एनी रेड कार कौन सी बीएमडब्ल्यू रेड में आती है हाँ लैम्बोर्गिनी एंड पोर्श आते हैं करेक्ट बट हाउ मच आर द लैम्बोर्गिनी एंड पोर्श सोल्ड इन इंडिया 4-5 बिकते साल की इट इज नॉट इवन 0.1%. तुमको वो काउंट करनी है तो फिर तो यू हैव टू गो इनटू द रिच एरियाज कि हाँ फरारी तो सिर्फ तो इजी हो गया फरारी लग्जरी कार आई विल टॉक अबाउट बीएमडब्ल्यू मर्सिडीज ऑडी वॉल्वो जो ज्यादा दिखती है रास्ते पे फरारी कब दिखी तुमको लास्ट बताओ जरा कब दिखी लास्ट तुमको फरारी रोज दिखती है रास्ते पे रोज पॉर्श दिखती है रास्ते पे so luxury okay the major so you want to talk about the major population okay luxury cars do you see any apart from this Ferrari Porsche वो तो हार्डली एक दो बिकती है साल में can I skip from this 4 lakh can I skip the entire luxury segment approximate can I sell Mercedes used to sell हर्षल अभी बंद कर दिया लोग ने कौन सा मॉडल है मर्सिडीज का, आई एम नॉट सेइंग. वो पहले CLA था, मैंने बंद किया था, रीलॉन्चिंग इट, पर ओनली CLA वाज इन रेड, अभी नहीं है. हाँ, एंड वेयर यू फाइंड दैट, हाउ डिड आई नो दैट दे आर, वो नहीं है रेड में. उनके वेबसाइट पे जाके देखोगे ना, कंपनीज के वेबसाइट पे जाके, देयर इज नो कलर ऑप्शन ऑफ रेड फॉर एनी ऑफ देयर मॉडल्स. गूगल. ओके, fine. Now, what will I do out of this 4 lakh? I will remove the luxury segment. Luxury segment approximate 1% of India. I will remove the luxury segment. Acha. Out of that, now let's come to our normal OEMs. Tata, Mahindra, Hyundai, Kia. टाटा, महिंद्रा, हुंडई, किया, और कौन से इंडिया में, निसान. मारुति तो भूल गया, सॉरी, मारुति. ओके. अच्छा, लेट्स टॉक अबाउट द एसयूवी पार्ट. ये सब एसयूवीज बनाते हैं. ओके. ओके. होंडा, हाँ, होंडा भी है. एसयूवीज पे आते हैं. डज एनी ऑफ द SUVs are in red apart from Kia की Seltos? just find out. महिंद्रा की XUV 700 आती है क्या रेड में? I'm talking about the premium SUVs. Harrier, Safari, वो वाले. Harrier, Safari, Hyundai की Creta, Alcazar, in that premium range 15 to 20 lakhs में. Do you find? देखा है किया, कुछ किया दिखती है, किया की है. Apart from that, किया not है ही नहीं. Not saying वो, if you go on the website you will find there are no XUV. आई एम नॉट श्योर XUV का है क्या रेड कलर, जस्ट फाइंड इट, बट मुझे नहीं पता है क्या. आई थिंक उनका ब्लू है, सिल्वर है, व्हाइट है. हाँ, ये सब क्यों पता है, मेरे पास गाड़ी नहीं है इसके लिए नहीं है. बिकॉज आई हैव कार, इट डजंट मीन दैट आई हैव कार, दैट इज व्हाई आई नो ऑल दोस थिंग्स. सो महिंद्रा, मारुति, हुंडई, this cars I can easily skip apart from Kia. That this cars, sir, I also know that I will boil down to a segment where it is called hatchbacks. Sir, hatchback and probably sedan B. I am not sure any sedan comes in red. Max to max, there is mini SUVs like Breeza. Yeah, you are saying Breeza, which comes around Breeza hai. Nexon, there is no even Nexon is not. Yeah, Thar Rocks is there. Okay. So can I say I have come to a point where probably the majority of the cars sold in India, the majority of the cars which are red cars probably are in the range of hatchback or in the price range below 15 lakhs. Can I say that? अप्रोक्सीमेट कम ऑफ ना, कि इतने तो है ही नहीं. मुझे पता है टाटा नहीं बनाता है, महिंद्रा नहीं बनाता है, हुंडई की 25 लाख के ऊपर गाड़ी कोई रेड में नहीं आती. एंड ये मैं खुद नहीं बोल, आई एम नॉट सेइंग इट ऑन माय ओन, इट इज दैट यू फाइंड इट ऑन द गूगल विल कम. वरना कम्स एट रेड, नॉट श्योर. हाँ है, वरना की एक है रेड कलर, करेक्ट. ऐसा ना, हैचबैक सेडान्स इज द मेजर वन, एंड आई थिंक वरना ही है. होंडा सिटी डजंट कम. वर्चेस की आती है रेड में, स्लैविया की नहीं आती. स्लैविया इज नॉट देयर. Now I have boiled down to this much of area, so I will find how many hatchbacks are sold in India. Okay, Scorpio N is in red. Fine. Boil down. How now? How are you being specific now? Specific, right? Scorpio की N आती है. Scorpio N is red. Hyundai is red. जब मैंने ये क्वेश्चन पूछा था तब क्यों बात नहीं किया? Why didn't you say that time? तब तो I don't know what research were you doing? So I have boiled down to the models of the companies. That ये specific models में red car होती है. Or in this specific model there are red cars which you might see. So I can take the model wise data of those car and only do a process. Now assuming out of doing this, I come to a point that I found that probably in the area 1 lakh cars are probably can be in the red part. Verna, Scorpio and Seltos. I have boiled down to this number. And from this number, hatchbacks were the highest. Swift is a hatchback. Swift में there are red colors, Alto में there are red colors. Acha, can I say from this hatchback and sedans also, there are cars, let's say Swift Desire, someone said, you will not get specifically numbers for Swift Desire. Can I say out of this 1 lakh also, tourist vehicles will be in white? I have to remove the tourist part in this. Tourist vehicles probably are all in white. Swift Desire, that is in white. That is also majorly it is tourist. The tourist vehicles, I will, let us say I come up to a like 80,000 cars. So now when you boil onto this number, probably you need to find specific model wise which color, which all colors are there. Now assuming I come to a number that okay, only Swift sell 80,000 products. Okay, we're coming to a data where Swift sells 80,000 products of the red cars. Now Swift is in blue, red, green, so blue, red, green, blue, then white. Okay, assuming the passenger cars, and gray. Okay, gray. Now black. Okay, fine. Assuming. Okay, these are the color codes that Swift is sold in. Okay, where you will get this again on the website. So I can first of all I can directly do that 1 divided by 4. So out of this, sir, probably 25% might be a red car. This is straight answer without any ground research. This was all research. Now this is a basic answer that 0.25, 8 into 80,000 into 25% will get you approximate the, if we assuming that all cars are sold equally. But probably that is not the case, because since we are in India, we know that red cars are not that frequent, that people don't prefer that much of red cars because it is a color which is specific choice color. Then you come to a place where you take a sample now. Out of the 10 Swift that you saw, sir, 2 were red. Out of the 15 Swift Desire you saw, one was a red. Now then it comes around percentage. That is the where you come with the sample. This is the last way that you can do a research. Now this was an entire process of finding, where I started with industry, then I went to segment. I started with the market size, or maybe market volumes, market size. What is the market size? Then I went on specific segment, correct? Luxury, mass segment, then luxury and mass segment. I figure out what are the luxury and mass segment. I know luxury segment is different. You don't find that. Okay, in mass segment, then I went specifically on the product differentiation, like product differentiation or product details, minute product details. What was that? Hatchback, SUVs, correct? SUVs, hatchback. And after that research, I went on competitors research. Then I will go on the volume numbers for. Isme also I reduced that tourist part, which is a part of basically sub-segment. SUV is also sub-segments. I know that hatchbacks basically are tourist vehicles. And then I went on the company. And then competitors. Company and then competitors. That if this company is making, who are its competitors? You need to know Swift is making, who are its competitors. And this when Harshal kindly mentioned that I am not talking about commercial vehicles. Okay, sorry. Commercial vehicles different, Harshal. Okay. Here I am not talking about the entire auto sector. See, I asked what are the red cars. Will I find total scooters sold in India, total commercial, total trucks sold in India, total tractors sold in India? That is also part of auto. Total two-wheeler, three-wheeler sold in India. Will I talk about that? Even in the industry, even in the sector, I have taken a specific industry. This is a process how a research works. Without knowing this, if you are doing research based on the bookish knowledge, probably you will not land a good role. Now tell me, you all gave an answer. That is also right. I'm not saying you can add it somewhere over here, your answer. But was your process right? You only answer. Many of you answered the question. They were right. Now, this all things I was able to know because I stay in India. If the same question is asked to me, find the red cars in Africa, in Egypt, can you answer with this kind of data? If you get it, fine. See now, Tata Motors, Honda, you can do it. See, you have to go and find which are the companies who have sold, which are the company OEMs who are there in Africa, who are the population. That all thing you can get. But why was I able to answer it very quickly? Because I said, now this sample can only be taken if you are in the specific country. If you are not in that country, probably this is the last point where you will stop, or probably get into more minute detail about some kind of sample size, Google or here and there. But this is how the process works. This is how. Industry, market size, segment, differentiation in the segment, difference in the product differentiation. Then in that also sub-segments if possible. This will not happen in every industry. Then the company's product, what is the company selling, the company's volumes. And then at the last, it comes competitors as well, because you need to know the company. You cannot say, sir, only Swift is selling red cars. There are other companies also who are selling red cars. Now, I can be wrong on this, but I have told him the process. So this is how I will start doing the research. It is always the macroeconomic and the macroeconomy. Not so market. This is macroeconomic research or micro research? Macro or micro? Industry research is what? Micro, I will say specific to a company. Always. A market size is specific to a company or specific to the country? Market size of the company of a sex particular industry, na? Particular industry. You don't find market size of a country. Can I say this is directly related to your volumes? Yes or no? If I tell in India 4 lakhs cars are sold, can you talk about GDP of the country with this? But if you say that there are 4 lakhs cars sold in India, so probably you can know, sir, out of that 4 lakhs, some might be, of Maruti, some might be of Tata, some might be of. GDP of India is 3 trillion. Okay. Now, tell me how much is car sold? How much is Maruti's volume? Can you find? Is it directly related? GDP and cars volume? So this markets anything related to a company. Anything related to a company or industry is called micro research, microeconomy. Product pricing. Sir, product pricing only, na? I told you, for 15 lakhs cars. Product pricing, details, features. These are all features. One type of features. SUV, hatchback. Is one different type of features. So anything related to the company is called micro research. Anything related to the economy, national income, your GDP, government policies, inflation. Is inflation related to the cars? Inflation in India is 3%. Has anything related to cars directly? No. This is microeconomic research. But things which are related to specific industries, specific companies are called micro. So yesterday we learned about company equity, basically, who are investors. today we learned about industry. So I will say the first two chapters, not first two chapters, but basically from then overall few things we have covered. We know what is industry, we know what is now the equity. So tomorrow we'll start with equity and parts of equity and parts of debt. How is that market value arrived, face value, if something questions are given, how to find the book value and stuff like that. Basic things which we use in our daily life. I will not go on to the books. काफी complicated book है already. Okay. I can talk you about definitions. इसको क्या बोलते हैं GDP, मतलब same like what are convertible bonds. Those all things are easy. But I will not go into the book saying, this you have to read. No point reading it. Okay, if समझता है, you can answer your questions easily. If possible, try to read it once. नहीं है तो छोड़ दो. न्यूज़पेपर पढ़ा करो, आधे से ज्यादा तुम इकोनॉमिक्स का पूरा आ जाएगा इसमें जो भी है ना. दिस एनालिसिस, आई विल टेल दिस, ये सब्जेक्ट है इकोनॉमिक एनालिसिस. इट्स वेरी इजी. बेसिक प्रिंसिपल ऑफ इकोनॉमिक्स थोड़े बहुत है इसमें, अनएम्प्लॉयमेंट रेट, हाउ इट इज इम्पैक्ट एंड ऑल दोस थिंग्स. But probably if you can give an answer, okay, I will tell you voters type. This is okay. This is industrial. Sorry, यहाँ पे basic है वो. Will go much detail in it, but first understand what are we talking about. इसमें भी ना उन्होंने दिया है एक अच्छा इंडस्ट्री पे. We are not come on to the competitors yet. So we are just on to the research part. How to start doing your research. Okay, got it. Next time I don't want you to answer this randomly. You are talking with an analyst. Answer like an analyst. Try to answer like an analyst. Okay, fine. Achha, any doubts before we wrap up? Any doubts before we wrap up? And remember this question is asked to me in interviews. Okay, it's called asked to me in interviews. So that is why I am taking this session कि only exam passing कुछ नहीं होगा उससे. It's very basic. What section of newspaper to focus on? Everything. I used to read newspaper for 4 hours a day. See, we have Tarun is saying that there is a video of 30 minutes. I personally don't look at any videos because I'm a research analyst. If I'm understanding, okay, it is not that I'm not saying that it is bad, but from a personal growth perspective, I try to do research on a very granular basis rather than on a high level basis. The answers that you were giving, very granular, the things that I can get, things I can talk about. My basic products, whichever products I use a mobile phone. Who's a competitor? What is the price? How can I afford it? I have a 1 lakh rupees phone. How many people in my family can afford a 1 lakh rupees phone? Now, if I want to assume it, how many people can assume? How many people can afford? I need to know their income levels. I need to know where they are, where they are working. Now tell me, my cousin is just a BCom graduate, 21 years old. My another cousin is a CA, 21 years old. Who will have the higher purchasing power? A CA or a BCom student? Correctly, rather a CA. See, both have not got a job yet. Both have not got a job yet. Both are 21 years of age. Then how did you define that a CA? Told na, you have given some data point, na? Because sir, he has given a degree which is both are 21 years of age. It doesn't mean that both have the same capacity to buy. So that is what you need to understand. Small things are very important in doing research. The more you complicate, the more problem you will face. Now you'll say, sir, that BCom guy must be, no, the BCom guy must be talented. Now, what if that guy is someone like Virat Kohli at the age of 21? Now, CA will earn or a cricketer will earn 21 at the age of 21? Who will earn? Now, that age is not important, correct? You are giving specific data to it. And you know how much a cricketer earns and you know how much a CA earns, correct? How did you know that? Last 10 years data. How do you know that a CA earns more than a BCom guy? Because you know the industry. You know a cricketer earns more than a CA guy, same age. Things change, but no, sir, you will say, sir, it depends. That person might be having some additional skills that a CA doesn't have. Right, depends. If the answer come depends, then you are screwed up in the interview. Then your answer will revolve around the same question. The interview will revolve around the same question, depends on this, depends on that, depends on that. And you are. Sorry, want SPSS as skills. So from where we learn. What is SPSS? Sorry, I didn't get. Okay. Now start reading newspapers. I will share my morning calls. Okay. Tomorrow we are not having a morning call. Okay. I will share my morning calls on the group. You can, it is not for public. It is, I've kept it for private, but with the link, you can, you can watch it. So if possible, you can go and watch. So on my YouTube channel, there are, morning call videos. I keep, I keep on posting. अगर कभी टाइम रहा तो देख लेना. हाँ, statistical tool is quantitative research, no? It is a quantitative research. That has nothing to do with quality research. This was, we are talking about qualitative research. Qualitative research. The problem is in statistical tools are used probably, but in that, you require a lot of data. And, personally, when we were in the industry, when this AI and all were coming up, DeepSeek and all, statistical tools will replace humans in the few years to come. They will only require one analyst. He will do all the research on a specific numbers, and you are gone. So if you want to get your, something additional, qualitative research is important. Quantitative is also important, but qualitative has much more value than a qualitative research. I'll give you one basic example. Technical analyst. Technical analyst is a qualitative research or a quantitative research? Technical analyst. What they based on? What they research? What the research they do on? Quantitative. All data points. Fundamental also do data points. But as I said, fundamental, there are many such things which are not directly related only from last historical. We have to make a future projection based on what is going on in the economy, not what is going on, what has happened in the past. A technical analyst, when I was working, a technical analyst was he was at the age of 55, 60 at my dad's age. I was 25, he was 55. Okay. I was 25. He was 25. So he was having 20 years of experience in the industry. 20 years of experience in the industry. Okay. So now tell me, what must be his salary? Yes, guess. What is his salary? कितना हो सकता है? Do you think 55-year technical guy? 30, 25, 30 years of experience. Any guesses? 1 crore, okay. 1 crore plus. So it was a small company though. इतना तो नहीं होगा, ठीक है? It was a small company. 50 lakh. Okay, चल let's say 30 years market में तो इतना तो होना चाहिए. What was his salary? 12 lakhs. Not even 12 lakhs. 10.8. I still remember I saw his, salary slip. Unfortunately, I saw his salary slip. And when we were sitting beside, his salary was 10.8 lakhs. And he was the only technical guy in our office. I was at 25. I was sitting at 15 lakhs. 26. I was 26, 27, not 25. 27 I was. 26 probably. I was sitting at 15 lakhs where I started doing research later on in my career because I was doing MBA, I did my CFA, I did an internship, 1-2 years where, in that mess that what to do and what to not, because I don't want to get into sales job and all. Why? This all you are telling na Python and all. It is very good tool, not for research, not for talking about investments, because investments comes, they want quality investments. They don't want quantitative investments. All those tools will take over your life very quickly. Yeah. All those tools that you're talking about, Python and all, you cannot, if Python is used, then why are you required in the job? AI can write an entire Python code. Time series analysis, very easy to do. In nowadays also in BCom, in CFA, they have, changed that curriculum. They have not kept a time series analysis. It is just for understanding, not for doing research. That's what. This is how it works. And there were only one technical analyst, or there were almost 30 to 40 fundamental analysts in our company, and only one technical analyst. That is how quantitative are treated in the IB roles. See, IB is proper money. It is, you play with the money of your clients. You cannot leave it on any softwares. Agar aisa hota, if that tools were so easy, that investments were so easy, then everyone would have been a millionaire. I run a Python code, which stock will go up tomorrow. Python will do all the analysis and tell me this stock will go up tomorrow. Correct. Zomato's profit was down 90% today, and the stock was up 14%. How, sir? How? Saw the news today. Zomato profit yesterday was 90% down. The stock was up 15%. As per statistics, it is a bad news. As per statistics, it's a bad news. Blinkit, there was a news in the Blinkit saying that Blinkit will do good. They have done investments in Blinkit. That's a future perspective, that Blinkit will do good. They have investment and then you will get a profit. But quantitative is only on the past data. No? There is no qualitative in all these models. So avoid all these models if you want to be a research analyst. I'm not saying wo sab kharab hai. Python and all are good to know, but not from research point of view. Okay, guys. Thank you so much. See you tomorrow, same time. We will talk much about now about the exam point of view, that definitions, how to link numbers and all. Okay. Thank you, guys, and remember this: guesstimates answer. Welcome. Bye. See you tomorrow.